Hello, lovelies. I am gonna do my January reading wrap up. I read 19 books this month. It was honestly the longest month I've had in a while. 19 books in a month is actually ludicrous. I think I did a lot of audiobooks at work, so that probably helped. So if you didn't read 19 books, don't worry about it, guys. It's just me. But I did start off the year with the Precious Stone trilogy. So that was Ruby Red, Sapphire Blue, and Emerald Green. It's a trilogy, obviously, it's YA. It is so much fun. I read it in middle school a really long time ago. It was so much fun. I honestly was kind of yearning for middle school era fiction. So I did audiobook of all three of them, and it made me very happy. It's basically time traveling teenagers, and one of them, the Ruby, she has not been trained at all to be a time traveler, so she's just there and she's just kind of surviving, and it's fun. It's definitely YA. It's really fun. There's no spice, none whatsoever. It's fun. It's not very good. I gave the whole series 3 stars. It's very fun. If I say fun one more time, you'll read it, right? But it was a good time. It brought me back to middle school. It scratched that middle school itch that I really needed scratched. Yeah, it was great. Honestly, rereading it, because I remember the movie when it came out. It's a German series, I think, and you have to do like the ad-lib movie. It's a really good movie. It's cute. Uh, yeah, it's very middle school. I would recommend it if you want like an actually serious series. It's very much like I want to relive my middle school days, and I had a good time doing it. But yeah, that one was really fun. Next, 1 second. I'm reading Zodiac Academy. I'm on book 8. I think it was Sorrow and Starlight. Honestly, Zodiac Academy is one of those series that it's not good literature, but it's fun literature, okay? It's like a drama series. It's like a telenovela. It's absolutely batshit wild. Every single book you're like, can this get worse? Yes, it can, ma'am. It can. Okay? Every single book, I'm like, what more can these people go through? And they give you more. They always give you more. It's absolutely wild. This book 8, was definitely too long. It was like 1,000 pages. And the POVs, if you don't like books that have like multiple POVs, like I think it has at least 7 different POVs. Yeah, like at least. There's probably more. So if you don't like books that are like jumping from different POVs, I would not pick up the series at all. It is hard to follow at times, but it's really fun. I gave that book, I want to say 3.5. Yeah, about 3.5 stars. It's fun, okay? It's a lot, but it's fun. And then next, sorry, I'm looking at my Goodreads. Oh, so I picked up A Bed of Fire. Purely fantasy, not really any romance. Actually, not really, no romance. It's just purely fantasy. It's just 3 dudes who get thrust into this fantasy realm. It's a good time. I really enjoyed it. It's the debut novel of Ryan Cahill. I think I pronounced it right. I probably didn't. But it's fun. It's dragons, there's giants, there's like secret worlds, there's dwarves. It's really fun. The second book is on my TBR. I really enjoyed it personally, just because these 3 dudes that are thrust into it, they don't know what's happening. They're not supposed to know what's happening. They're kind of just there. And that's kind of what makes it fun. I enjoyed it. Next. Ooh, The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ally Carter. So fun. It was like Clue and kind of like Knives Out. I kind of want to say also White Lotus, if you guys watch White Lotus on Netflix. It's kind of like a combination. I know when people say enemies to lovers, it's not really enemies to lovers. It's just like she thinks he sucks and he thinks she hangs the moon. It was really cute. And like, honestly, I was so focused on the cute little romance that was blooming that I didn't really guess the twist personally. I know a lot of people did. I know a lot of people I talked to guessed it right away. but I didn't guess the twist. I thought it was fun. It was a cute little Christmas. It was cute. It was fun. I loved it. And then next, I read Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. I didn't do the tandem read that everyone's supposed to do, the Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. I didn't do it. Okay, I read Empire Storms and then I read Tower of Dawn. I personally liked it better separate. I personally really enjoyed Tower of Dawn. I did not like Chaol going into this. Alright? I hated him. I still kind of hate him. I still think he's a piece of shit. But he did grow a lot in Tower of Dawn. He did prove to me that he was mentally ill, mentally going through it, mentally not all there, mentally exhausted, mentally a 20-year-old who's going through a war. You know what I mean? Like, he's a little 20-year-old frat boy going through a war who didn't understand the consequences of everything, and he just wanted his cute little perfect Aelin. Okay? He just wanted cute little perfect Aelin. He didn't get her. So he's pissed about it. Which, like, he's young. I guess we have to excuse him. But Irene Towers, she carried Tower of Dawn. All the time I say, I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. Next I read, I would wait for it by Mariana Zapata. I can't pronounce things. Just know that now. Correct me in the comments. Okay. Wait for it. Oh, she's the queen of slow burn. Like, the queen of slow burn. I've heard such good things about Wait for It, and I was like, I need a cleanser after Tower of Dawn. So I checked Wait for It out from the library, and I finally got it. It came like out of hold right after Tower of Dawn, and I was like, perfect cleanser. It's a cute little slow burn, beautiful. She has her own trauma, he has his own trauma. They become friends, slow burn romance. Like, we all know they're gonna end up together. Okay, don't pretend that you thought they were gonna end up together. And no third act breakup, which that is a demise of me. So if you give me a third act breakup, I'm not reading you ever again. Like, honestly, authors that give me a third act breakup because of miscommunication in particular, I don't want to read you ever again. Yeah, Wait for It was really fun. I gave that, I think, 4.5 stars. I think I gave 4 stars on Goodreads and then 4.5 stars on Fable, because obviously Goodreads you get 2.5 stars. But I loved Wait for It. I would love to read it again. It honestly might be my new comfort book. It was beautiful. Next, I'm reading the Bergman Brothers series, so I started the first one. It's Only When It's Us. Yeah, by Chloe Lies. I can't pronounce that. I apologize. I wanted to love it. I wanted to love, like, the cute little tiny romance. It was a deaf guy who doesn't really know sign language, doesn't really tell anyone he's deaf, and a soccer player who's overbearing and anxious and just, like, she's not good with emotions. She's emotionally immature, let's be honest. And it's their love story. It was a lot. It was emotionally draining. I'm not gonna give too much away, but I gave it 2.5 stars. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, you know? Like, it was fun. It was fun. It was good death representation. I don't know, the main character, the girl, I just, like, didn't really enjoy her. She was a little annoying. She didn't grow to me. Like, she didn't grow, which is, like, the main thing I hate in books, when, like, you just have a character who's stagnant, who's stubborn, and who, like, doesn't grow or realize they err in her ways. Like, by the very last chapter, she realizes that she's just not communicating to him when he's been communicating the entire time. Like, he's literally been like, I love you, like, the entire time, and she's just been stubborn. And I honestly hate that, because, like, how stubborn can you be? How many times can someone, like, say they love you and say they want to be with you and say they're infatuated with you, but before you finally, like, take a chance? Like, her whole thing is she didn't want to take a chance. So I think that just turned me off. Maybe, yeah, I just didn't like her. I think it probably was a good story. I'm gonna keep reading the series, the Bergman Brothers series. I have the second one checked out on audiobook. Oh, I listened to this on audiobook. Also, it is smutty. It was like, I don't know how you guys rate chili peppers. I do like 1 to 5 chili peppers. It was like a 1.5 chili pepper. Like, wasn't anything disturbing, but it wasn't like it was funny, you know? Yeah, but I would recommend it if you want a cute little fluffy romance, you know? It was cute. Next. Oh, this one was fun. I listened to the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy on audiobook. Okay, it's YA, no smut. The second book is my favorite. The Ballad of Never After, sorry. Once Upon a Broken Heart was one, the Ballad of Never After, and The Curse for True Love is the third one. I didn't read Caraval, so apparently I messed up. I was talking to someone about it the other day, but apparently I messed up. I did like the world they built. Jax and Evangeline. Evangeline is another one of those characters who didn't really grow. She just was stuck where she was. She was naive. She was too trusting. I think I read too much dark romance. That's what I'm realizing, because it was cutesy and fun, and the whole purpose is like a fantasy once upon a time. Like, I get that. Okay, I know that. I know it's supposed to be cutesy. I know it's supposed to be adorable. But for some reason, the entire time I was like, girl, you're stupid. Girl, grow up. Girl, think with your head. Girl, don't trust everyone. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be thinking that. But yeah, the Once Upon a Broken Heart, the first one, I gave 3 stars. It was cute. The premise was really fun. Honestly, it was cute. Like, if I was down, I would love this series. The second one, The Ballad of Never After, honestly was my favorite one. It's beautiful. Gave 4 stars. There was a lot of emotional turmoil in the second one. Between Jax and Evangeline. It was like a give and take. Yeah, but it was a great world building. The third book kind of ruined it for me. Apollo, if I ever see you, it's on sight. Okay? Alright? Just know that, Apollo. That man. Wow. I was Apollo Defender. Apollo? Guys, help me. Apollo Defender up until the end of book 2. And then I was like, I wasn't putting the dots together. Finally, at the end of book 2, I was like, oh, that's why. You'll get there at the end of book 2 if you're also Apollo Defender, but I don't know. It was fun. I would read it again. Actually, no, I wouldn't read it again. I wouldn't waste my time on that one. But I would give it a chance. If you want something like lighthearted and fun, I would definitely give it a chance. The whole series to me probably was 3.5. No, maybe 3. Just 3 stars. Like, rereadability for me personally, no. For someone who likes YA, no smut, like a cute, beautiful fantasy that's lighthearted, great world, fun characters. Yeah, I would read it if you like that. The characters, the Jax, specifically dark, brooding, grumpy, Evangeline, happy sunshine. You know, grumpy sunshine. That combo, if you like that. Perfect for you. Next, I read a 5-star read that I honestly think will stay with me forever. It was absolutely, like, it's still heavy on my heart. It made me grieve. It made me really self-reflect and made me, honestly, I just really connect to the characters. It was All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. It's a Jenna pick of the month, or Jenna pick for a book club, and it follows Patch and Saint. It's kind of a serial killer story, but also it's like the aftermath of what happens after one of them is kidnapped by the serial killer. They both survive, but I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like so much grief, so many complicated emotions. It's very twisty. It's very much like the aftermath of trauma, the aftermath of a lot of bad things that happen. It's character driven, very character driven. If you don't like character driven books, I would not read it. The writing style is not for everyone. If you read the first 3 chapters and you don't like the writing style, put it down. You're not gonna, it's gonna be that the entire way. But I actually sent this book to my aunt and she loved it as well. I love this book so much. I have been talking about it for the last month. I've been telling everyone to read it. I personally loved it. I adored it. It's a book that I will probably always have on my bookshelf. I loved it. Yeah, it was a 5-star read for me. I would recommend it to you if you just need an emotional read. If you want a lighthearted, fluffy read, don't read it. If you want something that's gonna make you believe in love, believe in happiness, believe in like all that stuff, don't read it. It's full of grief, full of sadness, full of emotions, full of darkness. Just darkness. It's a lot. Yeah, I felt heavier after I read it, but it was a good heavy. It was a good like step into this horrible story's shoes and understand grief. I think honestly, if you want to understand grief a little bit more, you should read this book. Yeah, like abuse warnings, serial killer warning, murder warning, all of that. The next book I read was The Emperor, which is the dark verse. It's Brunix. I don't know how to pronounce the other's name. It'll be up there, guys. Don't worry. But it's a mafia book. The first two books are Tristan and Mariana. Okay. This one was our queen Amara and Dante. It's a mafia romance, guys. I genuinely, the way this man loves her, absolutely insane. Like, genuinely, if I can give it, I would give it 5 stars just for the way he loves her. I give it 3 stars because it's a shitty mafia book, okay? But if I could give it 5 stars, I would. Morally, I can't, but it's just the way he loves her, the way he talks about her. It's a lot of like yearning. It's a complicated story. I mean, just read it if you want dark mafia romance. That's all I'm saying. Like the whole series, I think it's like 6 or 7 books. This is the only 3rd book I read. I want to finish the series, but there's so many things on my TBR. But it was so much fun. Dante, he's on my book boyfriend list. Definitely. Yeah, also all the warnings: sexual assault, murder, violence, abuse, kidnapping. Oh, what else? There should be more warnings. I don't know. But it's a great series for dark mafia. If you want a dark mafia romance, read this one. Okay, next. What did we read? Oh, Kingdom of Ash. I demolished it. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I finally finished the Throne of Glass series. It was an experience, okay? I would recommend the Throne of Glass series to anyone who wants to get into fantasy. Not even get into, anyone who likes fantasy, anything. It's just it's a great world. Sarah J. Maas did a great job on that world. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's literally amazing. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I demolished that. It was 4 stars for me. It's a cozy, cute little, it's a romance, but it's also like about her teaching 3 little witches who have never really had a mother figure, I guess. It's her just like bonding with them. And like in this book, witches don't really get to bond together. They're separate entities. They aren't allowed to have togetherness, I guess is the word for it. Like they aren't allowed to interact. And in this book, she's like learning that they can interact, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's so cozy. If you don't like cozy found family books, don't pick it up. You're gonna hate it. It's so cozy. It's found family. There's a little bit of romance in it. There's actually a little bit of smut in the end, which I honestly was taken aback by because it was thrown in at the end. Absolutely weird, but it was good. I gave 4 stars. I loved it. I'm continuing a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I read book 2 this month. It was just as good as book 1. I gave 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought Holly Jackson, I thought that she wasn't gonna be able to do the same caliber of work on the 2nd book as the 1st book, and I actually really enjoyed it because she does the case. So Pip takes on the case of her friend's missing brother, and it's just a whirlwind. It's just like all the characters I loved in book 1 came back, and obviously Ravi and Pip are beautiful couple. Ravi, for 18-year-old character, he's a beautiful book boyfriend. He's flawed, of course, but beautiful book boyfriend. But honestly, more of Pip was fun. She's a great little detective, fighting justice in the way that she knows, and she's still on her podcast, so she's doing her podcast. So I loved it. It was great. I'm excited for book 3. Okay, last 2 books. I read A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. It was a retelling of Goose Girl Grimm fairy tale. It was very spooky ooky. Honestly, I would read that during Halloween time. It was very fun. Grimm fairy tales, as you all probably know, are grim. But, ooh, grim fairy tales. I'm not funny. I'm so sorry. I apologize. So, it was retelling. It was fun. It was 400 pages. It was Cordelia. I just, like, felt bad for her the entire time of the book. She's just, like, I don't want to say she was weak, but she, like, was so abused. She just, like, didn't know that she had the option to be strong, you know? Also, I really liked that it was centered a lot around the older women in the story. Because a lot of books, like, never focus on older characters. I don't know why. I feel like older characters would be fun to follow around because they're more wise and they have more cracking jokes, you know? Like, more trauma to crack jokes about. Just saying. But yeah, it actually focused on an older character. So much fun. The magic in it was a good time. I liked it. Evil Mom. All I'm saying, it's a good time. Yeah, if you want like a Oogie Boogie fairy tale, I mean, it's effed up good fairy tale retelling. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Like, it was a fairy tale, messed up. It kind of had no, it didn't really have a happy ending. It had an ending where you were like, okay, the bad guy, at least, kind of is gone. Yeah, it was fun. I gave it 3 stars, 3.5. I think I gave it 3.5 on Fable, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but it was good. And then the last book of the month is Alone with You in the Ether by Blake. Alone with You in the Ether was it's a love story, obviously. Literally says in the title. But it's very interesting. The style of writing is hard. I think if you don't get the style of writing by the first 3 to 5 chapters, you should not read it. It's very mental health centered. It's 2 very mentally ill individuals coming together and figuring out that they both deserve love in their own right and they both love each other. Yeah, it was hard. I like didn't really want to rate it because it was like a snapshot into mental illness. I don't like rating things that are common on mental illness and or like vulnerable stories, because like, how are you gonna rate someone's experience? Like, I know it was a fictional story, but you can't rate someone's experience. I just gave it 3 stars because generic rating, but it was a lot. It was like emotionally turmoil. Like, it made me second guess every decision she was making in the book. And honestly, it was a good story. I loved it. They had a tumultuous relationship and a tumultuous like time figuring each other out, and like you can see she gives you insight into their brains and how messed up their thinking patterns are and their cognitive patterns. And it was really interesting. Like, I really enjoyed reading it. It's just like, it wasn't a story you're going to dissociate and be happy about. It's a story that is going to commentate about mental illness and commentate about the state of the world and the state of relationships. It's not something that you would read to necessarily enjoy, I guess. I would read it just to like, it was good to read. I felt like I had a better understanding of loving someone with mental illness. I mean, I'm mentally ill, so like, but it was a good snapshot into loving someone with mental illness. I would say read it if you're mental health conscious. Yeah, but anyways, that was my 19 books. I think definitely my favorite of the month was All the Colors of the Dark. I think that'll probably be my favorite of the year, if I'm gonna be completely honest. I did get Onyx Storm. I went to the release party on the 21st with Becky Yarros. Not the release party, I went to the Q&A at the Novo in LA. So I got Onyx Storm. So I'm gonna read that in February. I actually already started it, but I haven't finished it. I've been really busy, unfortunately. So yay! Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe or comment what you've been reading this month, or comment any February picks you guys have. It is gonna be Black History Month in February, so I'm gonna try to read some more Black History Month picks as well as some fun romances. So yeah, but hope you guys have a great month. Hope you guys like this video. It is my first one, so tell me if you like it. I'm nervy. It'll be okay.